from the lighthouse shine, oh, shine on me. I wanted to tag this text for a few minutes and talk about how to handle God's delay in your life. How to handle God's delay in your life. Pray with me, please. Mark brings us into the midst of a request for a miracle that was interrupted by an unexpected miracle. Scholars do know that it was a plea from Jairus that Jesus would come to his house and heal his sick daughter. On their way to Jairus' house, there was a woman who the Bible said had an issue of blood. And she had awakened that morning and convinced herself it's now or never. And she heard that Jesus was passing by. Mark says that she lost, all kind of pride, and with reckless abandon got down on all fours and crawled and touched the hem of his garment. And you know, the Bible declares that immediately the bleeding stopped and she was made whole. From the woman's perspective, it was a great and a grand and a glorious day because she now has been healed of an issue that she's carried for 12 long years in helping this house. And you know, while she and Jesus are conversating, while they are in this dialogue of praise and gratitude, because she testifies, Lord, it was I who touched your garment. And Jesus says to her, not only have you been healed, but you've been made whole. Hallelujah to the King. He not only touched her body, he touched her soul and changed her life forever. And in the midst of this change, the woman is grateful and she has praise to the Lord and for him. And yet on the sideline, there's Brother Jairus, who feels greatly disrespected and forgotten. You ever been there? While you're waiting on God to work it out, it seemed like that everybody else who were in the request line leaving shouting, I once was blind, now I see. I was sick, now I'm healed. I was broke, now I have money. I was friendless, but now I have a friend that's sticking closer than a brother. Everybody, it appears, has a praise. When you know you've been calling on the Lord for a long time. Talk to me if you can. I'm not talking about no fly-by-night prayer. You have been calling on the Lord in the morning. You've been calling on him midday. You've been calling on him in the evening. When you wake up in the midnight hour, you still call his name and say, Lord, I still need you. And you've been waiting and you've been waiting and you've been waiting on him to come, and it appears that he has forgotten your address. It appears he's forgotten your request. It appears that he's blessing everybody but you. Anybody in the house today? And how do you handle it when you can see that what happened in somebody else's life is authored by God? And you know, the woman didn't even have an appointment. She cut across Jairus' request. Y'all gonna help me here. Listen, nothing burns us more than when we've been waiting. And then those who would provide service would come in and ask somebody else, can I help you? And then we're challenged really to be Christians and be patient, because you do know patience is the hardest thing to have, because it's waiting when you don't know how long. I wish I had some help here. Sometimes when we are caught by the train and we really have some choice words for the vehicle, Patrick, that just went across, because had they not been slowing around, somehow we convinced ourselves we'd have made it across. And now we got to sit here, and it's the longest train of the day. That's indicative of the fact that it's got 5 locomotives pulling it. You're going to be here for a little while. And how do you handle it? How do you handle it when you got to wait? Request is legitimate. You're not asking for God to do something outside of his will. He's requesting for healing for his daughter. That's what he's doing. He said, sir, my daughter is sick. Come and heal her, lest she dies. And as they began to move towards Jairus' house, they are now held up at a miracle inside of a pending miracle. That's all right if you're the miracle inside the pending miracle. But if you're the pending miracle, if you're the one waiting, if you're the one holding on, if you're the one that is on pause, how do you keep on coming? Keep the faith and remain steadfast and unmovable when all around you suggest that you're wasting your time. Because really, I would think that in my mind's eye, that Jairus would have said, hey, catch the lady on the rebound, on your way back. But if she's healed, why you got to talk to her? I need help. You ever needed help? And it seemed like they were helping everybody. Folks that you didn't even know came and told you, I got help. Folk that wasn't even talking to the Lord. The man upstairs, he was good to me today. I got a job, and you've been waiting on one for 2 years. Credential and degreed and applications all over the land. And it seemed like everybody going to work except you. Go on, preach here, man. And how do you keep on praying and praising when it appears that God has forgotten you? Well, as the conversation ensues, that's where the text picks up at verse 35. It says, while he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, thy daughter is dead. Why troublest thou the master any further? You see, they knew Jesus as a healer, but they didn't know him as the one with power to speak a word and man would live again. And so they said now, our hope is gone. And that brings me to my first point in the text. If you're going to handle the delays in your life, first thing you got to do is listen to him and not them. Oh, I thought 5 of y'all were going to jump on board right there. You've got to listen to him and not them. How many of us in here have allowed folks to talk us off our knees and take us out of the will of God and in the line of waiting on him because they say stuff like, that ain't going to happen. If you ain't got that by now, girl, you just fooling yourself. You ought to come on and try what we trying. That ain't waiting on God. That's not going to work. Listen what they said. They said to him, they say, leave him alone. He's too late now. And Jesus turns and says to him, be not afraid, believe. I just go and shout and go to the office right there. Only believe that all things are possible through God. Do I have a witness here? Anybody in the house know that he is a miracle worker? Anybody in the house know that he is the way? He handles all our problems. That's why the Bible said, take your burdens to the Lord, cast them on him because he cares for you. Jesus, look, I know what they said, but don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. And you got to understand, if you're walking with God, you can't listen to folk. That stuff about, child, if I was you, I wouldn't keep going to church every Sunday and waiting on the Lord. I go, the Bible says that the Lord help him who help himself. That ain't what the Bible says. And you need to go and make something happen. Look, there are some things in our lives that are literally beyond our extremity. I thought I said something there. It's beyond your ability, capability, and resources. Let me say it like this. It's out of your hands. And I found out something, y'all, that our extremity is God's express opportunity. When you've gone as far as you can go and done all you can do, put it in the Lord's hand and God will work it out. Won't he do it? And somebody in the room got the wrong person in their ear. You got to listen to him and not listen to them. They said there's no use for coming to the house. Now we're getting ready for a funeral. And Jesus said, I'm going over here and hook up a family reunion. Look, man proposes, God disposes. I had 3 more folk in here that came to have some church that know in your own life God has done stuff that still got you shaking your head. Do I have anybody in here? He just done blown your mind by doing what he done for you. And we just got to get in that line that says if he doesn't do anything else from me, he's already. This first point. He's already done enough. So be careful to whom you listen. Because I tell you, information from another man is misinformation. Got to get a word from God. Do I have a witness here? And the Bible said, now, he said, be not afraid, but only believe. They get to the house, and when they get to the house, Jesus, he pulls the inner circle together. And I want to tell you that while you're waiting, you got to be careful who it is in the waiting room with you. Don't make me do this by myself. See, while you're waiting, you got to be careful who it is in the waiting room with you. Because see, some folks that's in the room with you ain't waiting for your deliverance. They count down your demise. I thought I had something there. See, some folks stay close to you so they will be the first one to know when you fall and can't get up. See folks say he just wrong. Brother so-and-so just closer to him and then brother so-and-so. I'm not wrong, I'm modeling Jesus. John Maxwell wrote it, but Jesus modeled it, the law of the inner circle. Y'all ain't listening to me. You better keep that circle small and supply it with people who are trying to build you up and not pull you down. He gets to the house. The text says, and he suffered no man to follow him, save Peter, James, and John, the inner circle. He left the rest of the disciples out there with the doubters. Y'all didn't hear what I just said. I said he left the rest of the disciples out there with the doubters. Look what he said. And when he was come, he's come in the house. He got in the house. He didn't even take the other fellas in the house. And see, that's why some of y'all can't clearly understand what God is up to in your life. You're trying to catch too many people with you. And when he was come in, they were just, the professional mourners had gotten there. See, in that day and time, there were folk that they just came when there was grief and tragedy. They just came and they just made a great to-do. They just, you ever had folks sometimes, they hollering what's in the family? And then you ask them, well, did they know him? I don't even know who that is. They just come over there and they just screaming and hollering and crying and talking about, oh, she's taking it hard. Oh. And so they just, misery loves company, and we just got some miserable folk in this world who don't mind trying to make you miserable too. And Jesus said, hey, what's going on in here? What's all this noise about? He said, why maketh ye this ado and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. That brings me to my second point. Not only are we to listen to him and not to them, but we are to look to him and not at what you see. We are to look to him and not at what we see. Because what he said supersedes what we see. Oh, preach, man. How many times have we allowed our eyes to talk us out of blessings? We look at it and things look shaky. We look at it and things look bad. Dark cloud comes up and we say, oh Lord, the storm is coming. It's on the horizon. And we just give up all hope. And then before the storm arrives, the wind changes. And the sun comes shining brightly, and God turns it around. Do I have anybody here? That midnight tear, he didn't stop you from crying. You were crying tears of sorrow, but he didn't stop you from crying. He just changed the reason why you were crying. He just changed that pout into a praise. I thought I had something. Anybody in here ever been down and God flipped the script and you turned from a pouter to a praiser? You had your head down, then your hand was up, and you gave him glory, because weeping may endure for the night, but in the morning there comes joy. I've learned if I'm going to deal with God, I can't go on what I see. My eyes will play tricks on me, because my eyes will tell me it's 2 fish and 5 barley loaves. And my mind asks the question, what is that among so many? My eyes will tell me the wine is out. I wish I had a witness here. And ain't no time to run to the liquor store. My eyes will tell me that the Red Sea, mountains on both sides, enemy behind me, and I don't have a boat. My eyes will play tricks on me. But I tell you, if you can focus on not what you see, but what he said only believe. And in the midst of our delays, you got to understand that delay is not denial. Getting ready to get out of here, but I tell you, I said delay is not denial. That's why they said in the old church, he may not come when you want him, but I ought to have a witness that he's always on time. And so you cannot afford to look at what you see. You got to look to him. That's why the psalmist said it like this. He said, I'll lift up mine eyes, from which cometh my help. It was almost as if it was a rhetorical question. He said, my help cometh from the Lord, who made the heavens and the earth. It's very important. It's very important as to the source of your help, because you're going to need power that's greater than your own power. So then finally, after you learn the lesson, listen to him and not to them. When you learn to look to him rather and not at what you see. Thirdly, then, you need to let the Lord have his way. And that's all I came to tell you, that while you're waiting on him, he's already ready to move. What the Lord does is he has sometimes to allow the situation to get right, so that we will not take credit for something we did not do. You know, I learned that God specializes in doing things that no other power but the Holy Ghost power can do. And he will, if you lean on him. He will, if you trust him. He will, if you hold on to his unchanging hand. He'll work it out for you. Do you hear me? The Bible said that he put them out, and he told Jairus and his mother, just keep on believing. Your daughter is not dead, because I am the life. I got the power to awaken her from a slumber. And the Bible said he called her and said, daughter, I want you to rise. And don't you know he's got the power to call your name? And when the Lord calls your name, something good will happen in your life. Do I have anybody in the room who knows the Lord has called your name? He picked you up when you were down. He brought you out when you were in. He kept you holding on when the storm was rising and trouble got in your way. When you thought you had gone as far as you could go, it was the Lord who came to your rescue. Ain't he all right? The Bible says that he called her and told her to rise. And don't you know that when he calls you, you've got to answer. When he calls you, you've got to respond. He called Lazarus one day, and Lazarus came out the grave. He calls this girl, and she awakens from her slumber. You ought to have been there in that room when he called her. When the Lord moved in that room, you ought to have been there when the little girl opened her eyes and looked around and was wondering what's going on. Tears of sorrow was upon the mother's face. Her daddy felt like he had failed her, but it was really God's express opportunity to work another miracle. And she awakened from a slumber. He gave her her life back. Do you hear me? And the Bible said that Jesus told them, give us something to eat. Do you hear me? I don't know, but if I'd have been there, I believe the little girl would have said, what's going on? And her mama would say, baby, let me tell you what happened. Yesterday you got sick and the doctor couldn't heal you. You were on your way out of here, and we heard that Jesus was passing by. Your daddy went down and invited Jesus to come home with him, and he got here, baby, and it seemed like it was too late. Do I have anybody in the house who know you can't hurry God? You just got to wait. May not come when you want him, but I'm a witness that he's always on time. Anybody know he's an on time God? If you know he's on time, lift those hands and give him praise. Ain't he all right? He got here, baby, and he called your name, and you woke up from being dead, and we're gonna serve him. Anybody got a praise in here that the Lord made a way? If you know that, you know you are a miracle, because the Lord changed your life. Come on and help me celebrate come on and be a witness. Ain't he all right? If you know he's all right, let me hear you say, yeah! Shout it! God bless you, the door.